So this is a quick video hopefully a quick video on how to change the coolant on a Ducati 1198 or 1098. And the reason I'm posting this video is because the service manual, one that I found on the internet, is completely wrong in its description for how to change the coolant. In fact, if you were to follow the procedure the way it's described, you run the risk of just frying your engine. So I was really surprised by the mistake they have there. Now there may be a newer version of the service manual. I didn't buy anything direct from Ducati. It's just something that I found on the internet that people were sharing on various forums and things. But again, the procedure is totally wrong. There's no mention about the radiator itself and filling up the radiator with coolant. All it talks about is filling the expansion tank, which is this here, and that's again just completely wrong. So I thought we'd just run through this just to hopefully clear some things up. Now, just a disclaimer for me is I am not a certified mechanic. I have worked on a number of bikes, different makes and models for a number of years. But anyway, that's my disclaimer. So if you screw it up, it's not my fault. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go ahead and just drain the system. And the way to do that is first you've got to gain access to the radiator cap, which on the 1198 is not as simple as you might think. You not only have to remove both of the side fairings, but you've got to remove the front fairing. The reason you have to remove the front fairing is so that you can get access to the ram air intake, which happens to sit right over the top of the radiator cap. Okay, so you just need to remove that. There's 3 bolts here to do that. So we'll go ahead and drain the system. What you want to do is remove the radiator cap. We'll go ahead and remove the cap of the expansion tank also. And then we're going to go ahead and, on the other side of the bike, we're going to remove the drain plug and drain the system. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this is the left-hand side of the bike, and you can see right underneath the coolant pump is the drain bolt. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up and drain out the system. Okay, so once that drains completely, you can actually rock the bike back and forth a couple of times just to get the last remaining bits out. There's a little bit more there. Really not a big deal. Okay, so once that's all drained, I'm going to go ahead and put the bolt in, tighten it to the correct torque spec, which in this case is 18 Newton meters, and using a new gasket for the bolt, we'll go ahead and put that in there and then torque it down. Now it's 18 Newton meters is the spec for this. The closest I can get on my wrench is 18.3, which is fine. There it is. Okay, so now that we've drained all the coolant out and replaced the drain bolt with a new gasket, now it's just a matter of filling the radiator back up. So we'll just go ahead and do that. I've got my pre-mixed pure water with water wetter. And what you want to do here is go ahead and fill up the radiator. And what you'll notice is that once you fill it up, if you wait a few seconds, it starts to drain out into the other compartments of the cooling system. And so you just keep on filling it and letting the water level go down, filling it again, waiting until it goes down a little bit, and maybe rocking the bike back and forth. While you're doing that, you'll see it'll sort of burp up some bubbles as it's finding its way through the different components. So you just keep doing that until you can't fill it up anymore, and then we'll take care of the expansion tank after that. So by rocking the bike back and forth a little bit, it helps to get all that fluid going to where it needs to go. And then as it sort of burps up those air bubbles and the water level goes down, you just fill it back up again. You basically just keep doing that until it's completely full. And remember, you really can't overfill this, okay? The whole point of the expansion tank is to take care of anything that spills over through this overflow line. So again, don't worry about filling it all the way to the top or spilling a little bit. Just fill it all the way up. And keep rocking it back and forth. Okay, I think that's it. So what we're going to do now is we can just go ahead and cap that off now. And then what we'll do is we'll take care of the expansion tank now. What I like to do there is there's no easy way to drain the expansion tank, so I just siphon it out. So what I'll do is just fill the tank up all the way to the lip, just to sort of dilute out the ethylene glycol based coolant that was in there before. And then just siphon that out and then fill it up with the water wetter mixture up to the max mark, and that'll do it. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fill up the expansion tank just all the way to the top. Okay, so now that we've filled the expansion tank and sort of diluting out all the old stuff that's in there, and you can do this a couple of times if you want to. But again, I've already flushed the system with pure water, so I'm just going to do it one more time. Okay, now the last thing we're going to do is fill the expansion tank back up with the water wetter mixture up to the max line, which is marked off on the other side of the tank. Okay, so now that we filled up the radiator and we filled the expansion tank up to the max line, that's pretty much it. The last step is to we're going to run the engine up to temperature. I think the service manual says run it for about 10 minutes up to 110 degrees centigrade, which is over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And basically what I do is I just run the engine up until the point that it gets hot enough to where the cooling fan kicks on, and then that way you know that you've run the engine about as hot as it's going to get. And the point of doing that is to get the thermostat to open up and deliver the coolant to the additional components of the cooling system. So we'll go ahead and run the engine, and we'll bring it back. We'll let it cool down, okay, because you never want to open the radiator cap when it's still hot. We'll let it cool down, then we'll open the radiator cap, and there should be some extra airspace, and we'll just top it off with more of the water wetter, and that'll do it. Okay, so I've run the engine up to temperature, and got back about 2 hours ago and let it sit now to cool off. So now all we're going to do that's left is we're going to take a peek inside the radiator, and we'll see what we've got. You'll see that we had it completely topped off earlier, and now there's still an air gap there after we took the bike up to temperature and had the thermostat open up. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to top that off with water wetter, and that's it. Put the cap back on and put all the fairings back on. Done.